So Vypr's helped us move fast with confidence, knowing that both our product and our messaging are consumer driven.
Wildfarmed is a regenerative food and farming business, so we grow food in a nature-friendly way that's better for you and better for the planet. So one of our founders, Andy Cato, who's originally a musician, he read an article about food systems and the impact that they have on the planet. That set him off on a spectacular rabbit hole where he sold his publishing rights, bought a farm in the south of France, and committed to a regenerative style of farming.
So although sustainability is a growing topic and something that consumers are really interested in and making decisions about, they don't fully understand what regen is. And so our challenge is to establish how best to communicate these benefits with them, and particularly to be able to communicate that in a really concise and compelling way on our packaging.
So we know at the moment that consumers don't really understand regenerative farming, but they do care about declining animal populations and biodiversity impacts. So in effect, they do care about regenerative farming, they just don't know what it is.
So we use Vypr to understand if people knew what regenerative farming was, and then also what they thought it meant. And what we realised quite quickly was that they'd heard of it, but they didn't know what it meant.
So when Wildfarmed started, we were selling to artisan bakers and the trendiest restaurants across the country. But to achieve the scale that we wanted to achieve, we knew that we needed to create a product that would ultimately sell to the masses. And that involved selling to supermarkets and the major grocery chains.
So Vypr made it really easy for us to understand our target consumer and their behaviours and their attitudes, particularly towards the environment, but also towards bread as a whole. And so we were able to really easily segment a panel based on things like age, gender, affluence, but also really niche things that were really key to our brand and what we're trying to do. We were able to segment down into, okay, they buy bread this often, and they buy it in Waitrose. So we could really understand who our Waitrose target consumer was as well, and compare that to other retailers for the future.
So some of the more traditional research methods can be super expensive, they can take a long time. And what's been great about Vypr is that we can get feedback really quickly and implement that to kind of learn, iterate and try again. So it fits really nicely with the way that we do business, which is to move fast and make decisions and learn as we go on.
And so Vypr's been brilliant because we've been able to ask a question to a panel of our target consumer and have answers back within a matter of hours most of the time. And also it's like having these consumers at our fingertips. So we can ask them at any time of day and they get back to us. So we've been able to ask questions in the middle of meetings, and by the end of the meeting have the answer that we needed, or the night before a pitch when we realise that we're missing a key bit of information, get that back from our target consumers.
So Vypr has that sweet spot of getting results quickly, so you can get results in hours, not days, weeks, or even months. But it still has a big enough sample size that you believe in the results you get. It feels really robust, and you can also be quite measured on who you include in your panel because the sample size is still big enough.
Wildfarmed helps consumers make more sustainable choices through connecting them to products that support regenerative farming. But we know that actually sustainability credentials alone is not enough, and it's not the reason that a consumer is going to change from their really entrenched bread buying habits.
We wanted to put our amazing regenerative flour into a range of bakery products. We knew that consumers weren't just going to buy a range of products just because it had regenerative flour. We also saw an emerging trend for better bread products and more premium bread products. By using Vypr, we were able to really dig into those different pinch points and those trigger points for customers and get a lot more data in terms of what customers truly put value on.
So using Vypr, we were able to ask a really large panel of our target consumer, what do they want from their bread, and to really understand their bread buying habits. We found that actually consumers don't just expect a more sustainable bread to be better for the environment, they also expect it to be better for themselves. And we've been able to take those attributes and use them to really develop our briefs of our bread product range.
So we recently ran a marketing campaign with Yo Valley, which partnered their soups with our bread rolls. So we ran a Vypr steer to understand some consumer behaviour around soup eating, to kind of tailor that marketing activation, which we then ran in store and on our socials, and it performed really well using some of the insights we got from Vypr, which is great.
So one way we were able to implement something we've learned from Vypr is with our on-pack messaging. where we've been able to test lots and lots of different ways of describing regen and communicating regen with our target consumers. So this showed us which messages resonated most and which they understood the most. And that literally has informed what we've put on pack. But also we feel like it's future-proofed what we put on our packaging as well.
So in terms of the future for regen farming, our plan is to become a household name in bakery and for people to identify wild-farmed products with better bread. As we go on that journey, we'll doubtless be using Vypr to help us understand customers' needs and wants in other categories too.